if the second place driver dumps, quote unquote, the leader, then black flag his ass. He doesn't get the win. You know, if he's on him from behind and moves him out of the way and there's no wreck, then fine. You know, he can win the race. But if you're up alongside the guy and you dump him, then I'd say black flag him and give the win to the third place guy.
Let's see where he is right here. Right up to the corner. Yeah, just wasn't run out of room. But Clint Boyer has experience.
Smart here, Kyle. They're calling. Hey, Kyle, stop. Stop. They're calling you on that. Just stop.
Remember, Clint Boyer has a little experience with people waiting on him.
Here in the old cars, and then watch these guys.
Oh, the 18 car's got trouble. He's been into the outside wall.
Right side.
Wow. Big
Hold on.
contact.
Come down. Come down.
Look at that right rear quarter panel.
Go to the garage.
You hear him. Let's take a look. He's on the outside of Austin Dillon. There's contact in turn 2.
That's just what you and Jeff Burton were just talking about, that the drivers not in the playoffs, they're still here to race. You know, that's the thing that separates this sport that we're in from the other sport. You race around those guys that are in the playoffs.
Yeah, and we were just talking about give and take, give and take. That was a little bit too much take and not enough give at that point in time.
Big name will come away from Darlington. He'll come away from Darlington behind the 8.
That's okay, Dale Jr. Hey, the contact with the 3, what's your take on that?
It wasn't the 3's fault, so just take our lumps. You know, we're running like got wrecked, so it's what you get when you run like and it just shouldn't be there. I don't know what our problem is, but every time we go to sim and use sim and think we have a good sim session, we go to the racetrack and we suck. So I'm done with that, and we'll have to use some other tools on figuring out how to be good. But the M&M's Camry was not very good, and we're running terrible, and we got wrecked. It wasn't the 3's fault.
I know the frustration is there, Kyle, but do you allow yourself to think about the next 2 racetracks where you're so good?
Who cares? Get what we get.
All right, Kyle Busch does have 14 wins at the next 2 racetracks, but clearly very frustrated, saying not Austin Dillon's fault. It was the fault of the race team. Car was not good enough tonight.
That he would rather win this than any other race on tour. And oh, look at the contact. Kyle Busch gets bumped by the 66, and here he comes right back underneath him. But coming out of turn number 4, Denny Hamlin fulfills a dream.
Well, I mean, we had a struggling night all night. You know, we had to battle there at the end of the race. And Steven, I guess, got a better run off of turn 2, and instead of, you know, turning low to pass me, you know, he just hit me in the back end there and drove into turn 3, and he knew I was going to hit him, so he moved up the racetrack out of my way, and we got through there luckily, and we were able to come home 3rd or whatever we were. I don't even know. But, you know, when you bump somebody on the straightaway, if you want to play boys' games like that, you know, then it's every man for himself. And I don't care. I'll wreck as many cars as I need to. So to me, I'm not going for points. If he's going for points, it's going to hurt him a lot worse than it's going to hurt me.
You jumped out of your car and you went back and had words with him. What did you say?
I basically told him that you mess with the bull, you're going to get the horns. And then he wanted to grab my helmet, which is, you know, pretty childish again. But, you know, we'll see what happens here in the future. And if he wants to play those games, he's going to get hurt.
He leaned in the window after you guys came down pit road. What did he say to you?
I don't know what he was saying, but if I jerked him by the helmet and just rattled his cage a little bit, to know him, just tell him that I wasn't happy with it. You know, he's just a little girl about it. You know, I don't know. I just think it's pretty bad, you know, when they call drivers introductions, everybody in the grandstands boos you. You know, it's always for a reason. It's a sore loser. But anyway, good day for H.R. Holmes and John Bean. Thank you.
Busch can pick up. There he is on the bottom. Looks like Kyle Busch is going to slide up into him. And that's exactly what happened.
That is a hard hit.
Made contact with a 9 car to turn the 9 around. Watch this, under the caution. 9 is trying to repay it.
Marty? Well, incident number 1, what happened, Casey?
We just got taken out. You know, it's there's times when things happen and you know, you end up crashing because of other cars, but right there we just got taken out, and it's too bad for all the Dodge dealers and McDonald's, Stanley, Siemens, everybody that supports this team, just trying to get top 10.
Was this incident number 2 payback?
Yeah, I mean, when you just wipe somebody out, I don't care what happens. You know, Dale Jarrett, when he got back at Newman, I think that's the way you got to do it. You know, if people are going to run you over for no reason and you know, think they're going to get away with it, then you just go out there and ruin their day too. I think that's the best way to do it.
Dave?
Under fire for the lead. Here comes Kyle Busch, tries to race his way up to the outside. There's contact. Kyle Busch and Ricky Stenhouse Jr. make contact coming through turn number 4. Trevor Bayne now piles into the back of the Kyle Busch machine. More cars spinning. Kyle Larson tries to take evasive actions, jumps onto the brakes as everything breaks loose off turn 4.
Did Ricky Stenhouse Jr. reach out to you this week? If so, did you communicate? And if so, was it worthwhile or a waste of time?
He did not reach out. I am disappointed that he did not.
Why?
You wipe out half the field. I'm pretty sure there would be a pretty busy Monday for him, but there wasn't. So apparently he just doesn't care.
So does that change how you race him?
I can't worry about people that far back in the field.
There he is. And we know that Kyle had some harsh words for him earlier. Looks like he's listening now as Ricky's going to talk with him. And so he had some words with Kyle Busch, and then as he walked away, our Marty Snyder caught up with him.
Not really a change of heart. I just told him why I didn't reach out. I felt like he ran his mouth enough on his radio and then after the race that I didn't really have anything to say to him. And, I honestly feel like, that I'd normally do reach out to people when I make mistakes, and I clearly made a mistake. But, with him running his mouth, I just felt like I don't really need to call him. So I just let him know that. I told him that, I was like, hey, you're right. You do run a lot further up front, but I was like, pick and choose your battles wisely because, you will have to deal with me sometime, whether you're lapping me or we get our cars better and we're up there racing with you. So I told him if you want to keep running his mouth, he'd come over, do it around me, and I'll stop it for me.
Interesting turn of events that have taken place to start this race.
Listen, when you come to a road course, you have issues with the same people, it seems, every time. Right here at the 18 of Kyle Busch, this seems harmless to me. He gets underneath the 24 of William Byron. I thought this was no harm, no foul. I don't think Kyle Busch likes it. A few laps later, he sends the 24. We saw him go through the grass. We weren't sure how he got there. He got sent by the 18.
Okay. I'd finish it off. Okay, coast it around. And if I see that 18 come back around here without you knocking the of him, we're going to have a problem.
That was Chad Knaus to his driver, so then you see the damage. How did he get the damage? After the green and white checker, you see the 18 slowing down. William Byron goes up and runs into the back of him to show him his displeasure. The problem is the damage is all to the 24.
And Steve, we've heard this before, the crew chief getting mad, telling the driver to react. Listen, I don't blame you for being mad, but you got to let the driver handle it. If not, you end up with situations like this. Now, who came out on the short end of the stick? William Byron has a car that's destroyed. You got to let the driver handle it the way he feels is best. If not, you can walk into a fight that you end up losing.
You've seen it all in nonstop, and the crowd here loved it when Bubba Wallace got behind the 18 and turned him.
Chaos everywhere around this 2.5 mile 7-turn road course, and it started with a 7-time champion Jimmy Johnson. We know the pressure, and you see right here Bubba Wallace and Kyle Busch beating and banging down the front stretch. A big shot by Kyle Busch. Bubba Wallace says, I don't care, you're done. I'm sending you into turn 1. And listen, Bubba Wallace might have become a fan favorite with that move.
Yeah, a lot of contact here, and both drivers very aggressive on the front stretch, and then Bubba Wallace, after the 18 went by him, just decided, well, you're not gonna go any further around this turn. I'm gonna spin you.
Yeah, and this was the second accident in a cycle, if you can believe it.
Yeah, I mean, we remember where Bubba Wallace was turned around in the carousel. I think we know how that all started. Seems to be something going on with these drivers throughout the race.
The other incident you saw was the 48 of Jimmy Johnson got into the tire barrier.
Yeah, I was watching that, guys, as we were all watching it under nonstop and coming out.
And here goes Kyle Busch trying to take the lead from Denny Hamlin. Here comes Chase Elliott to the outside. Wow, that did not work out for. Oh, Kyle Busch turns Chase Elliott.
Hard into the wall and almost back up into traffic. 11th caution flag.
Oh boy.
That's your Coke winning performance right there.
And there goes the conversation between Alan Gustafson and Kyle Busch.
Well, we apologize for the language there.